Well, hey there, 2020. You sure did a job on this year. I am looking forward to taking the reins and kind of straightening a few things out.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. Normally the transfer from year to year isn't quite so drastic, but I'm gonna be honest with you, 2021. I shit the bed on this one. I goofed.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, old fella. I think things are going to be straightened out in no time.
I'm so glad that you have that young optimism that is so vital for someone in your position. I was like you once. 2020 was gonna be the year of the century. I kind of just let some things fall between the cracks. A little plague, a devastating environmental fire. It's kind of fucked.
I hate to agree with you, old feller, but you're right. You did not do that great of a job. But don't worry, I'm on the case and we'll get everything all straightened out.
I'm glad that you think everything's gonna go the way you want it to, but everything's just a little more fucked than is what is repairable.
Well, I'm sure you thought you were going to do just a fine job. But I actually am going to do a fine job, so you go take your rest, old man.
All right, I'm very excited to see how you handle what I've left here for you.
Yeah, move along, old man. Looks like they're getting started.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Good fucking luck.
A shin show.
A shin show.
A shin show.
Shin show.
Shin show.
A shin show.
Hey, what was in that package?
What package?
That you gave me?
From Dad.
From Dad? I don't know. I haven't opened it.
That's exciting.
Open it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what I sent you.
Open it, 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 open it. Open it!
That's funny. What is it?
It is wrapped up like Santa's shittiest elf. Fucking did that shit.
Oh!
It's wrapped with...
Yes. Now indeed, I know exactly what it is. I spaced off for a moment there because I'd forgotten the whole process of getting into that shitty package, which was actually the work of one of Santa's little helpers at the U.S. Postal Service.
It had the look of a disgruntled post office worker.
Yes, the United States Postal Service did that.
Whoever did this was pissed off. I know that. Whoever wrapped this up was fucking angry.
No. I was there. I watched it happen. She wasn't angry. She was being super helpful. It just so happened that her super helpfulness appeared to be rage.
Yeah, have you ever heard of something called malicious compliance?
I love that subreddit, dude.
That's what this is.
Well, she wanted it to be safe. I also wanted it to be safe. But the reality is I did not have the proper packaging in order to make it happen. And then she had the proper packaging.
Yeah, so this is unopenable.
No, keep going.
There is no keep going.
I believe in you.
Dude, there's no keep going. It doesn't end or start anywhere.
Do you not own a knife? I mean, I know you're a dude and don't have scissors, but... Ooh, Elsie's got some wine. She's starting this show off correctly.
Why, thank you. I'd bring some for everyone if I could.
This is straight up abominable. But you know what this reminds me of? My buddy Dave. His dad had a couple of friends who killed themselves by being dumbasses. And one of them was opening a package with a knife, much like I am right now. But he was cutting in with his right hand. He was cutting towards himself. And he cut through the thing too quick and literally stabbed himself in the heart.
Jesus Christ.
You know those, like, out in the cornfields, they have, like, those really tall radio towers?
Yes.
One of his friends climbed to the top of one of those radio towers. I don't know if they are exactly radio towers.
Could be cell phone signal tower. In one sense,
Yeah.
they're certainly microwave towers. It just depends on the purpose of the tower.
Communications
Microwave
towers.
tower.
Yeah. Microwaves are what power your cell phones.
It's all just frequencies due to different ranges.
And one cooks your food.
And one cooks
It
your
gives you
food.
cancer.
Several give you cancer.
And those pains you've got, if any brains you've got from those little radios. All right. And another guy climbed to the top of one of those towers. And, you know, they have those cables from the top of the tower down to the bottom.
Yes.
Like the stabilizing cables.
Yes.
His drunk friend tried to use his own arm as a... What is that thing when people, you know, they put something over a rope and slide down it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a carabiner.
Yeah, like a carbiner. He used his own arm as that, and the gravity and the distance was such that it sawed right through his arm, and he fell to his death.
How drunk was he?
Pretty drunk. Drunk enough to try that.
How drunk do you need to be? just drunk enough.
I would have to be so drunk that I wouldn't be able to climb. It's a catch-22.
Let's just hope that it never really comes to that.
I'm about to scream. I'm seriously about to fucking scream trying to get this goddamn package off.
So what's happening right now is Nick is opening a package that I had put together by a very nice lady at the U.S. Postal Service who spent a long time getting it put into this particular box.
And she's not a whore. She's a nice lady.
Lovingly handcrafted.
And now here I have it. It's a picture of Yoda. Thanks, guys.
Not just any picture of Yoda, an artistic photograph, black and white, of Yoda. In
Of
his
a toy of Yoda.
Could actually be Yoda. You don't know.
It was him in his youth.
Yoda, when he was young, looked rather plasticky.
Interesting.
But it is artistic. It's black and white. The focus is on the foreground and not on the background. The true mark of an actual photographer. All right, so are we recording?
We should have been videotaping it on YouTube. Unboxing things is apparently a huge, genre.
It actually is. Yeah, I don't know why, but such is the way of the world.
Because you never know if you're going to see someone stab themselves in the heart, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, God rest his soul, but what a fucking dumbass, you know? I mean, seriously. You fucking idiot. You stupid, dead idiot. What are you doing?
These are Dave's dad's friends.
Dead friends, yes. Yeah. I don't even know if they were friends. I don't know how much of an acquaintance he had with these people. Dave's dad is not a huge fan of Dave's friends.
Including you, presumably.
Well, there's been a couple of awkward interactions, yeah. It's because Dave's a shit person, and his dad doesn't want to blame that on Dave. He wants to blame it on his hooligan friends.
You know, the Buddha says that you've got to be careful about your friends.
Dave's friends are the best fucking thing about him, that's for sure. Although the other thing about Dave, there's very few people on Earth. The only other person I can think of is my old wrestling partner and classmate Dakota Groves, who, for some reason, when they're around me and I'm around them, they turn me into a little kid again. We just get around each other. We're turned up. We're being inappropriate. It's really fucked up. The situation is getting out of hand, and it makes it even funnier. Very few people have that effect on me. Dave does, though.
He's a funny guy.
Not ha-ha funny, but yes.
Funny queer.
Breadstick Nation of Islam funny, if that makes any sense.
It does to me.
Everyone in America is feeling the economic strain of this pandemic. That's why we here at Olive Garden are proud to announce our partnership with another struggling franchise, the Islamic State of Iraq and Sham, affectionately referred to as ISIS. Together, we are now known as the Breadstick Nation of Islam. If you thought Olive Garden's food was the bomb, wait till our fresh takes on classic dishes explode right in your mouth.
It's a little ha-ha funny, and then not ha-ha funny.
A little funny around the eyes.
Right.
Well, in the meantime, welcome Noah.
Shalom. What's up, everybody? Sorry I'm late.
Salam and good evening, my friend.
I really have leaned into the power of, hey, sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. And just being brutally honest of, hey, I don't want to do that. Sorry.
I would do it, but
I'm not feeling it.
How are you feeling about this newfound lease on life?
It's great. It's totally freeing. Turns out people will still like you even if you tell them that you don't want to do something with them right that minute.
Because you still pay them, right?
Money talks, man.
If you can't buy your friendships, why have them?
Well, good news. You can buy friendships. You can buy a line directly to your soulmate with the all-consuming world of the Twin Flames universe. Did any of you read about that?
Dude, I didn't even need to read it. I'm so down with all of this. I probably know more than you.
Really? How
Twin
come?
Flames universe?
Because you're my twin flame, baby.
You know what I say to that? Gross.
What?
Yeah, why would that be gross?
I don't know.
Means you're my soulmate. Means I've been traveling lives to be here with
If
you
it was
now.
twin maggots, that would be gross. Twin flames is pretty sanitary, I'd say.
Sure, if indeed you're talking about real flames. But what we're talking about here is this idea that you're going through life unnecessarily alone or unnecessarily tied to some loser who's not your twin flame. And so, good news, there are a couple of gurus who can direct you right to your twin flame.
Really?
Oh yeah, what's the catch, you ask? Why, it costs money. That's the catch.
Right.
You take the online quiz to kind of get your initial assessment, and they'll give you just enough information to be interesting. And then you gotta pay the money.
And then for a little monthly subscription, they can give you a consultation, at which point you will take whatever knowledge they bequeath to you in this very exclusive, very private, very blackmaily one-on-one consultation, and you will use that to find your twin flame.
Yes, but for free, you can get a weekly notification of what the energies in the universe are doing for you and your twin flame at this time. Now, of course, somehow that is also universal to literally every other fuck reading it at the time. But it's also very specific to you and your twin flame.
Yeah. And if you really get into it and you buy into the whole teaching, and when I say buy in, I mean purchase. If you buy into the whole teaching, you can become a twin flames coach. And then once you're a coach, then you can take the money of others to help them get their twin flame found. Or alternatively, you can just go on and coach others to get their twin flames.
Or you can just join the Twin Flames 1111 community on Facebook.
Yeah, you can do that too. And then they'll get their money that way from you.
So it's kind of like a pyramid scheme a little bit?
Yes, it's got that flavor.
Except you're not buying product to shuck to your friends. The product is twin flame.
That's right. It's the most powerful and important product that anyone could ever have. They're legitimate soulmate across space and time and all dimensions.
And you think you're just going to find that without paying any money? I mean, come on.
Nonsense. It's going to cost you money.
Of course.
And not only that, it's also potentially going to cost you your gender identity. That's right. It could be that your twin flame is not in the right body for your particular sexual orientation. Guess what? That means you're in the wrong body, which means that you're going to have to go ahead and either cut your wiener off or get a wiener.
Or just accept the body you're in and accept that a spiritual connection doesn't require physical interaction. But all I know is that this week, your own shadows are calling for you to go deeper. That's what the running, chasing, separation struggle is all about. Discover why everything needs to change.
Wow.
Ooh, go deeper inside your own shadow.
Oh, that sounds pretty dark. It's totally the absence of light. That's what my shadow is. So dark.
You are the one running from you.
Oh, man, that's so deep.
And you
So
need a
deep.
third person or a second person to catch you in this scenario? Like somebody needs to be the Peter Pan,
What
right?
in the fuck are we talking about right now? What's
I have
happening?
no fucking idea.
This has gone completely off the rails. I don't even know.
Really, you should just look it up. It's this Twin Flames universe. It's a couple of gurus. It's a guy. And
Oh, it's a
gal.
university.
No, I said universe, not university. What it is, it's a giant scam to part people who want to find someone who loves them from their money.
It's the Church of Universal Energy, the infinite
Sure.
multiverse, basically.
So, but like you can buy in and then become one of the people who helps matchmake for a fee.
Oh, it's a substantial fee. I mean, you've got to
Sure.
learn all the secrets before you can impart the secrets, and the secrets cost money.
But then do you get like a cut once you're on the team?
Oh, of course. Once you bring in people to coach, they have to
Right.
pay you the money, and of course you
Uh-huh.
kick that back up the chain.
Sure. Wow, that's smart. That being said, I would like to announce a soft launch of my new company called Twin Maggots. Twin Maggots Universe. We find the worst possible person for you. We don't tell you that. We say it's your flame. It's all very covert, cloak and dagger type shit, but
Trust us, you're going to end up with the worst possible person for you. Now, ultimately, they may not physically, sexually, or emotionally abuse you. They may, in fact, be very supportive, very helpful, very loving, and yet it's still somehow going to be the worst possible person for you, and you're going to feel that every day.
it's going to fester in your soul. Hence the name Twin Maggots. See, what we do is we find someone who is really a wound on the earth. That's what we do. And we arrange them to come to your home, to live in your life, to interact with your family. And over time, and you won't realize it until it's gone, a part of your soul will have rotted away and died.
And that's when you're going to want to come back for your therapy, for your empowerment, and for basically reconstructing your life.
And what gets rid of maggots? Flames. Okay? So hand in hand with the Twin Flames universe, Twin Maggots is excited to launch our new company. So come on down to www.twinmaggots.biz and we'll get you set up.
That's right. And of course, we do accept both AskCoin and the Ass credit card. It's affiliated, of course, with Ass Bank as well.
Sure. But speaking of give us all your fucking money, I know that I did the whole give us all your fucking money as like a ripoff of conventional religions, but like who really did that and is continuing to do it the best is the Mormon Church. There's an ex-Mormon subreddit. It's literally called r/ex-Mormon. The guy who is no longer in the ex-Mormon Church, his phone number was still in the registry of the Mormon overseers. And the guy texts him, he's like, hey, this is Pastor Kenny. Just making sure you've made your proper tithe to the Mormon Church for the year. So if you could go ahead and file all your tax returns to us so that we can see how much you made and demand the appropriate amount. It's just brazenly like, give us your fucking money. And they do it too. God, they're so good at it. I wish we could get in on that.
We can if we wanted to sacrifice all of our integrity.
What is this you speak of?
Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking. And I do the wrong thing, especially when no one's looking.
100% of the time.
Even if I know no one's looking, I still look both ways conspiratorially and then do the wrong thing.
After all, this podcast is for bad people, by bad people, and you're kind of confirming that.
I'm more of an exhibitionist with my bad behavior. Like, look at me over here.
Sure.
I'm doing bad things.
You are like that, for sure. Very much so.
Look at me. I'm taking a shit in a watermelon that was cut in half. Look at me. I'm wearing a lampshade as a hat.
While shitting in a watermelon. Lampshade as a hat? Passé. Lampshade as a hat while shitting in a watermelon? Cut in half, of course.
Yeah.
Novel.
Subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Sure. It's very niche stuff, but, you know,
right.
There's a market.
Some would say fetishy.
There's 40,000 people out there in the world who want to see that.
As long as you give an orgasm face, it's all good.
Yeah.
Gross.
Which they can't really see because of the lampshade, but they know it's there.
Yeah, they can perceive it.
Through the lampshade, obviously.
What you do is you wear the lampshade, but then you cut a hole out of the middle of the lampshade just for your face so they can see the orgasm phase right as you shit into that watermelon. Cut in half. Yum, yum, yum.
Would it be
OnlyFans / Elsie Shin, and that should get you what you need. It's a $5 subscription a month. You know, it's very light. It's very cheap.
Hashtag shit lady.
Yeah. It's easy, breezy, Mick Deluxe.
It is. It's all those things. Well,
Elsie Shin / shitmelon / onlyfans.com.
The bottom line is that this whole Twin Flames thing, there's always new and original ways to part people from their money, especially when you're talking about some kind of quasi-spiritual, find your soulmate type deal.
I don't think there is any new ways to do it.
I understand.
But there's still effective ways to do it, for sure.
Between the Mormons and this Twin Flames thing, there's plenty of ways to be
Yeah,
parted.
we haven't figured it out yet. We're trying to part anyone who's listening with this with all their money. If you could go into destitution for us, that would be great.
We'll start with any
promise
money.
Any money whatsoever from anyone at all.
We promised nothing.
We promise destitution and spiritual desolation.
You can cut right to the chase. We're not going to promise you spiritual fulfillment and then pull the rug out from under you. We're never going to offer you a rug in the first place.
And nobody else does this, okay? This is an exclusive offer that you're not going to find anywhere else. And I think you're going to want to jump on it before everyone jumps on the bandwagon. But we're offering true, complete, utter, and genuine spiritual desolation. We take you completely
And
down to the bone.
Desecration.
Desecration and defilement, all that fun stuff.
The 3Ds of the Church of Universal Energy and the Infinite Multiverse.
Right, desecration.
Defilement, desolation, and desecration.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I thought
all
it was
those-
desecration, defilement, and desolation.
That's what I said.
No,
Does
I
the
thought
order really matter?
It doesn't matter.
crucial.
Apparently.
It's absolutely crucial.
Actually,
No,
yes,
no.
it is crucial. First, you're defiled. Then you're desecrated. Then you are desolated and then defiled again for good measure.
Oh, I see. So it's 3D plus 1.
If you really want to tap into the Twin Flame community, though, you got to go fucking 5D with your crystalline energies. So we need a fifth.
Here's the point. Those people ought to be thrown in jail.
No, the people who deserve to be thrown in jail are the people who give them money. You give someone money for that, you just deserve what you get. That's true, unfettered justice. When someone offers a scam and you take the scam and you get scammed, that's justice.
I can't wrap that up, and I won't. So what I'll do is say, how about that John Mulaney? Man, that's a tough break that he had.
It's good, at least, that he's, like, handling it now.
Yeah, so for those of you who hadn't heard, John Mulaney, very famous comic, was on Saturday Night Live and then has gone on to guest host Saturday Night Live.
He was a cast member?
He was a writer.
He may only have been a writer.
Yeah, he was a writer only.
He could easily have been on the cast, though.
But he wasn't.
So you're wrong and you fucked up.
I did fuck up. But the point is that he's an addict and an alcoholic. I can relate. And he had a relapse, poor guy. And then, you know, when you have a relapse, you're still a famous person. So he showed up on Seth Meyers all fucked up. And that precipitated his entry into a round of rehab, which is where he is now.
Was he ever sober?
Yeah, he was sober for many years.
Oh, I didn't know he ever stopped. I just thought like it just got out of control.
No, he stopped.
Well, everyone slips up sometimes. And also when you're super rich and famous.
I mean, he talks a lot in his couple specials about how he was alcoholic as a teenager.
And Adderall. He liked his Adderall too.
And he enjoyed his cocaine as well.
Cocaine is like a shittier version of Adderall, yeah.
So-
Unless you get like really good cocaine, which he probably did.
I would think so. He could certainly afford it. My point, though, is not to throw dirt or to throw a stone at John Mulaney, but to sympathize with him in this difficult season. Relapse happens, and all of our good energy going out to John Mulaney for a speedy recovery so that I can see more of your comedy because you're fucking hilarious.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, thoughts and prayers. It's a hard time. He relapsed. That happens. Is he a bad person for that? Yes. Did he fuck up? Yes. Did he let everyone down? Yes.
Real piece of
It's
shit.
okay. Fuck him. Might as well be thrown in jail, but it's okay because he's throwing himself in drug jail. So good for him.
Right. That did wrap that up very nicely. Now, on the other hand, who I do wish to throw stones at and brickbats and dirt is Christy Smythe. Now, who's that, you ask? She is the girlfriend, maybe, of a guy that you brought up last week, Nick. Previously on a Shin Show.
That's why all these pharmaceutical companies also have faced no real comeuppance except that one guy, Martin Shkreli. He did go to jail. You know who she sounds like? She sounds like somebody who doesn't know how to spell the name Smith.
I don't know if that's her fault.
Well, then
Don't
it's her
pick their
dumbass
family name.
ancestors' fault. Either way, it's a long line of dummies mispronouncing a name.
Mispronouncing or misspelling? Because it's spelled
Both.
Smythe. So is that Smythe or
Both.
Smith?
Clearly, it's Smythe. They phonetically changed it to be Smythe. What is the last name Smythe indicative of? I think it was all the Smiths who spent a little too much time in the forge making mercury swords. And it was like, oh, I'm Mr. Smythe.
They are the Smiths who were smote, so they are now Smythe.
The
There you go.
Smiths. Makes sense. Well, in
For
any
being
event,
dummies.
Christy Smythe is apparently one of the world's biggest dummies. I don't know if you read the article from Vanity Fair that they got it from Elle. Christy Smythe is questioned by another reporter. Hey, are you Martin Shkreli's girlfriend? And she says, yes, I am his girlfriend.
Does she have any relevance whatsoever in the world aside from that?
She used to be a reporter for Bloomberg News covering their white-collar crime beat in Manhattan. So
Okay.
she was a pretty high-powered journalist who got a lot of notoriety for covering Shkreli when he was on trial and even before he went on trial. So she had a byline, she had a career, she had a husband, and what she did was she divorced her husband.
Smart.
Super smart.
I don't know what her husband's job is, but I bet it's not the head of a pharmaceutical company.
True, although he was an attorney, is my understanding.
Which is good, but not the head of a pharmaceutical company.
Very true. So she also gave up her job because she became a cheerleader for Shkreli while he was still on trial,
Because you can't be a journalist and sing the praises of that man.
or sing the praises of any of the subjects of your reporting. That's
Biased, right?
so she gave up her job, gave up her husband, learned how to drive a car so she could go and visit him in his prison cell in Pennsylvania.
Didn't know how to drive. What kind of journalist doesn't know how to drive? Don't they make you drive places?
A
Probably-
rich one.
Or she lived in New York.
Which
There's
she did.
plenty of city dwellers who have no idea how to drive.
Although she was
Sure.
from Kansas City, Missouri, so why she didn't learn how to drive before she went to New York, who the fuck knows? But
Right.
she learned to drive for this guy, drives out to visit him in his prison cell in Pennsylvania.
Wait, so I'm a little confused on the timeline here. Did she start fucking Shkreli before he went to jail?
Yes, but she claims that
Okay.
they were never sexually intimate.
Of course not.
No, of course not. Although she did tweet a picture of herself at his apartment with the $2 million one-copy Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang,
Clan album. So she was at his apartment.
And they were popping some Shkreli Oxycontins and drinking some wine, but they weren't fucking and sucking.
No, surely not.
No,
So-
I get it. She gambled, okay.
And then at the end of the story, they ask Martin Shkreli, is this gal your girlfriend? And he sends an answer back through his attorney. And his attorney says, Mr. Shkreli wishes Ms. Smythe all the best in all of her future endeavors.
Yikes.
Nice. Is he still in jail?
Oh, yeah.
Shkreli?
He's in
Yeah.
jail. And he belongs there.
Well, he probably belongs in a worse jail than where he is.
Oh,
I'm
there's-
betting he wears slippers and carpeted floors and goes golf in the afternoons.
Yeah, he deserves to be under the federal supermax because he's a piece of shit.
But also, him going to jail is a classic case of, hey, look, we got him. The problem's fixed now. Look, we got the bad guy. He's in jail. That thing that he was doing that was so bad is now never going to occur again. We got him. So everybody stop paying attention to this problem. And then everybody goes, okay. And then
Right.
they turn around, bend over, and back up.
Yeah, both the villain and the patsy.
So your view, Nick, is that she just took a gamble that he would still love her when he got out of jail and make her a wealthy woman.
Well, here's the way I see it. She was a journalist reporting on the head of a pharmaceutical company who's got big dollars. And I bet she looked good. And he's like, hey, I have a lot of money. Let me take you to my apartment and fuck you. And she was like, okay. And then she realized that if she threw in her lot with the head of a pharmaceutical company rather than a lawyer, suck and fuck whatever way he wants you to suck and fuck till you get married, then you divorce him, get half his shit, bada bing, bada boom. It's not a bad strategy.
I think there's an obvious answer here, and I think it's right in front of our nose. I'm pretty sure he is her twin flame.
Or twin maggot.
Or both.
Or both. Those two things aren't always mutually exclusive. That's the first tenet you must learn in the twin maggot.
But in the meantime, don't be giving away the secrets, son. You've got to pay
Well-
to get the secrets.
The only thing she didn't account for was him actually facing comeuppance, because that never happens. It was a fluke, a 1 in a billion fluke, that a rich guy actually went to prison for bad things that he did. She wasn't counting on that, and I don't blame her. How could you?
But she stuck with him in prison until he sent a note through his attorneys essentially asking her to cease and desist.
We all see how that worked out for her, but as our Uncle Chris would say, she will always be available to him.
As she herself would undoubtedly point out. After all,
Sure.
it's true love, twin flame, twin maggot.
Yeah, if I was her, I'd be like, yeah, who gives a fuck what that lawyer said? I'm still going to suck him when he gets out because he got billions. Do we know how long his term is?
I think he got sentenced to 7 years.
So he'll
What a
do
joke.
like 3.5
He should be getting out any
We're
day
good.
now.
and still have $6 billion. Just a cool $6 billion in his New York flat waiting for him, I'm sure.
I don't know what he was worth when he went in, but I'm sure he's going to be okay.
Yeah, you keep looking. I'm going to Google it.
All right, you Google it. In the meantime, I'll share this story with you. We can't get Netflix right now because our account is suspended. Our account is suspended because we can't pay Netflix. We can't pay Netflix because we have $1.98 in our checking account right now.
I thought it was 89. You're giving us 9 extra cents that we don't
That's
deserve.
true. It is $1.89. You're right. It's not $1.98. It's $1.89.
We're returning Christmas gifts to have money for eggs.
It's true.
Are you
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Well,
We got a little festive
We
for
did.
Christmas.
Didn't really pay attention to where all the money was going, and then it was gone. So,
I've been there.
You placed a couple of bad investments.
the good news is that there's a check coming in about 4 days, but
In the meantime, we just have to return a few gifts for eggs and milk, and we'll be fine.
exactly.
Fine.
No big problem.
Broke.
You know what? We're just like every other American. We're not broke. We're simply temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
Sure.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
you guys
it's
want
a
to
good-
take a crack at how much he's worth?
Sure, I'd like to say $20 million. Because I can't help but believe that the federal government took a lot of money out of him before they sent him off to federal prison.
And you were right, by the way. It was 7 years in prison. This net worth was in 2018. That's when he got sentenced to prison, right?
Yes, but before you give me the number, I want to hear everyone else's guess.
How much he was worth?
How much he's
Yes.
worth in 2018
At the time he went
to
into
prison.
jail.
He was like in the top 10 richest people, wasn't he? Which would make him a billionaire with a B. I'm going to say a cool $3 billion.
I'll give it 10. 10 bill.
3 bill, 10 bill, 20 mil.
Is it highest without going over?
Yeah, is this Price is Right rules?
Yeah.
No, it's just closest.
I was going to go 3 billion in one.
count.
1.5
That would count
billion.
for you. 1.5 billion?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the closest is father. It's 27.1 million.
Ooh.
He wasn't that rich. Sure,
I thought he was.
27.1 million is a lot of money, but it's not super wealth. In fact, everyone on this podcast is a lot closer to Martin Shkreli's net worth than Martin Shkreli is to, say, for example, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Jeff Bezos.
Sure. But also, I'd like to point out, he's worth $27.1 million accounted for dollars.
He might have a mill or two here or there buried in a backyard in the Cayman someplace.
Maybe 10, maybe 15, just enough to keep him tided over.
I hope he's okay when he gets out with just $27 million.
And what he got charged for was securities fraud.
That's correct.
I guess I don't really know what the charge would be for being a huge piece of shit. What is securities fraud?
Securities fraud has to do with the complex web of laws and regulation involving the issuance, purchase, and selling of stock and related instruments. Securities, by another name.
So he was lying about his profit margins?
I don't know the details of the case. There's a lot of ways you can fuck up with a securities investigation. Typically, what happens is you issue some kind of guidance or news that deliberately moves the stock one direction or another, and you know about in advance. Yes, you can sell or you can buy ahead of time so that
or
you
tell
can
someone else, yeah.
Exactly. That's what got Martha Stewart put in jail.
There was something else. I read something.
I'm going to go ahead and cut that story out because it's so disjointed and makes no sense.
Okay, cut it out, but don't cut out the part where you said, I'm going to cut that story out. Because it's so disjointed. Leave
That
that
did not
part
make
in.
any fucking sense.
Leave that part in.
Yeah.
And we'll move on.
We'll move on. And where we're going to move on to, as a matter of fact, is to the final piece of news or information that I have, which is not even new. It's a story that I stumbled across from March of 2019 that National Public Radio did about how the Inuit people of the Arctic...
What asshole says National Public Radio instead of NPR?
You're
we know
looking
what
right at
NPR
him.
is. Like, nobody knows what National Public Radio is. Like, it's
You're looking
NPR,
right at-
dude.
What do you mean? What do you mean, what kind of asshole? That kind,
Are
right
you
there.
diet elitists? Leftist, agenda'd elitist.
Goddamn bullshit.
What kind of communist?
This kind, obviously. Obviously, I'm nothing more than a left-wing, liberal, East Coast, New York Times reading, latte-swilling, Jewish-controlled,
Public Radio
George
listening.
Soros-loving... You can't interrupt me when I'm in the middle of my spiel, Sarah. You can't interrupt me. You can't do it! Anyway,
Do
yeah,
it.
I'm that kind of asshole. Back to the National Public Radio, though.
Oh my God.
So the NPR story is about how the Inuit people raise their children without ever raising their voice. God damn it! Which, of course, I'm completely fucking unable to do. Under no circumstances am I capable of interacting with any of my children, be they young or be they adult, without screaming and cursing and saying, God damn it. So I just felt like if only I had done a better job as a parent with you, that all of you would have better anger control. And instead, you all are cursed with anger control issues just as I am.
Sure.
You can't take credit for all my problems.
Surely not. But your anger control issues, those do come from me.
I don't have any anger.
No, you don't have any anger. You stuff it way
fucking
down. And then it comes out at mealtime. No?
I think you said everything that could possibly need to be said by yelling at Sarah for interrupting you while you were trying to tell everyone about your big story.
I just saw a video. I'm about to put a huge damper on this whole thing.
Oh, dear.
Of this guy in a hospital bed who's
Yeah.
kind of like fucked up. He was in there for being suicidal, I guess. And there's just 3 cops in there. One of them's recording, and they're just beating the shit out of this dude in this bed. He's kind of fucked up on something, I could tell. The nurses clearly shot him up with something so he would calm down. And the cops are just beating the shit out of this guy. He's all crying and trying to like cover his face up, but he's too fucked up to like do it fast enough. And they're just wailing on this dude. You guys want to guess how much trouble those cops got in?
I'm going to guess none.
Well, one of them actually did get 66 months in jail, but
Okay.
there's 3 cops in the room. One was recording it, and 2 of them were beating on him. And one of them got convicted for 66 months in jail for, not assault, for stealing evidence. He wasn't even charged with the thing that he was doing, which was beating the shit out of some suicidal, fucked up guy.
And the videos keep coming, let's be honest, because in this country, I'm not a fan of defunding the police. We need police. We certainly do. But as you yourself have pointed out many times, Nicholas Shin, we need police who are well-trained and who are both involved in and trying to do the right thing for their community. Most cops, I think, are and do fit that bill. But there are certainly those who do not. And the way to get at that is through better training, for sure.
Yeah. And also,
Well-
they don't need tanks. When I say defund the police, it's not like take every cent from them. It's just like the police departments usually have budgets that triple or quadruple the health budget or the education budget in any given city. And they have military grade equipment. I've said it a trillion times. Let's just leave the military grade equipment to the military. Okay? Cops don't need it. And better training and everything else.
In England, cops have to have, I think, a 4-year degree in some sort of criminal justice background. Why not do that? They also don't carry firearms. Let's do that. And the other tenet of defunding the police is, like Dad said, maybe it was Nick, it's not taking all of the money from the cops. It's taking some of the money and appropriating it into other social work. So if a mentally ill person gets called on by the authorities, you send a social worker instead of a cop with a gun.
Both, at least.
Or a social worker and a cop with a gun to protect the social worker.
The
Right, let me
only
tell you
way
something.
to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. We all know that.
Or with mace.
You know what? You can tell who the person in Florida is. That's all I'm saying. You can tell.
The Canadian Floridian, who sounds like he's from Kentucky.
And
Yeah.
is Jewish.
So many different things going on with you, Noah. So many different things.
I perplex myself sometimes. I'm an enigma to my own mind.
Are you speaking into your microphone, though?
I am now?
So that's going to be real helpful when you talk, is to speak into that microphone.
Okay. Just like this?
Yeah.
Just balls deep in it?
Just taste that condescension in the air.
I didn't know your balls were on your face either.
Yeah, I'm a Balchinian, you know. That's a throwback. Does anyone remember Men in Black?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that. It's the
Yep.
second one, right when Agent K, Tommy Lee Jones, gets his memory back.
Damn
Hey.
straight.
Hey, so you got to talk in the fucking mic. And I'm not being real Inuit in this approach here, but I've said this a million fucking
Are
times.
you ever real Inuit?
No, that was never on the table.
That's not true.
It's entirely true. Fuck
Did you
talking-
know Tommy Lee Jones played football at Harvard?
Wow.
He was a lineman, I think.
Good for him.
Did he do anything else at Harvard?
I'm sure he got a degree as well. I mean, I'm sure he learned at Harvard, but he was on the football team.
Presumably, he got a degree in drama.
Probably got
Got a
drunk and
degree in
late.
looking old.
He did get a degree in that. And by the way, he graduated cum laude in looking old.
Why are we still doing that? Why is that still a thing? Cum laude, you know?
Yeah, it's
like, come on.
coom, by the way.
That's spelled cum.
Either way, can we just call it something different, please? Cum laude? Summa cum laude?
Look, just because you're never going to have those words associated with you doesn't mean that they're not good words.
Anybody who has those words associated with them just makes me think that they ejaculate loudly. That's it. That's all.
Which
Is there no other Latin shit we can say?
what's funny is I was about to say that I would assume that Sarah was probably a cum laude.
No, I was not. Murphy was. I passed college with C's.
I remember looking at your homework for college, and it literally may as well have been hieroglyphs.
I mean,
Like
a lot
the
of it
paper
was.
that you used wasn't even regular. It wasn't even lined paper. It was like just blank. You know, normally American writing goes from left to right in lines. It's kind of like the House of Leaves a little bit, looking at your scratch paper.
It was engineering paper.
What it wasn't was a liberal arts degree. That's what it wasn't. It was a hard science degree. Congratulations on getting that done. You have a computer engineering and a computer science degree. I don't know many people who have those.
And math, right?
I minored in math.
You have a math minor? I guess I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
It's basically free with my degree.
Right. Because you do a lot of math to do computer engineering and computer science.
I had to take like one extra stats class, I think, to get a minor. And I was like, fuck it, why not?
And yet, who's most likely to be called a dummy by me?
Me.
You?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? Sad.
Well, you know.
Because you're not very Inuit and you
That's
would
true.
disrespect and insult your children.
And somehow that encourages me to succeed or something. I don't know.
That's right. You know why? Because I'm an Inu-out. I'm not an Inuit. I'm an Inu-out.
Next.
Hey, it's the new year, and this is our super special New Year's edition. And that means one thing. We've got to talk about our favorite things this year.
Nice.
Wait, how many days are in December?
31.
When I get a degree, I will make a bigger salary.
That's classic.
So now I can see which college is right for me. Get connected for free. You guys remember that? That commercial? EducationConnection.com.
With Education Connection.
I never saw that commercial.
Trust me, it's for the best.
Hold on, just real quick. What happened to jingles? Why are all the jingles so fucking lazy now? Liberty Mutual is literally, they just say, liberty, liberty, liberty. They say the word liberty 10 times in a row. Dude, freecreditreport.com had like 10 different fucking commercials that were entire 3-verse songs. Had a chorus, a verse, a bridge. JG Wentworth?
877.com or something.
If you have an annuity and you need cash now, call JG. We all know it, okay? Because those were good jingles. They put the time in. Now, dude, the farmers insurance, we are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, are you serious? Could you be any lazier with the fucking jingles?
Maybe because the Cars for Kids jingle has really shied everyone away from the jingles. It's so universally unloved, disliked, and abhorred that maybe everyone else is just like, no, we don't want that 1877 Cars for Kids bullshit associated with us.
Maybe.
Not familiar with that.
Oh,
1877 Cars for Kids.
1877 Cars for Kids.
I don't think that's the second line, but still.
Whatever.
I think a lot of the problem is that I think some of these commercials are regional, and that's why we're having this disconnect.
Oh, gosh. Advertisers really need to do a much better job of reaching out to the entire country, like Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha is people you can count on when the going's rough.
Yeah, see, that's some ballin' ass fucking jingles. That's some effort. Or what's the one? Price protection, peace of mind. It pays to cross the bridge.
That's a fucking car dealership. That's Lake
That one's a
Manawa
banger.
fucking car dealership.
That one's a banger. It's on all the time. It pays to cross the bridge.
You know who's got a great jingle? Sucks Cable.
With Sucks Cable, the best in the greater Midwest. With Sucks Cable, the best in the greater Midwest.
Sucks Cable's got a great fucking jingle.
Hey, you know what? I like that one too. I did like that. That sometimes gets stuck in my head. Midwest.
Was a good one. So, what was your favorite thing of the year? I'll tell you what my favorite book of the year was. My favorite book of the year was What the Buddha Taught. What a great little book. Sums up Buddhist philosophy in a way that's entirely accessible, entirely understandable. If you read it 50 times, I'm on about reading number 25. But it has really helped me in terms of my meditation practice and understanding what I need to do to progress so that I become more Inuit and less Inu-out.
What is it called again?
It's called What the Buddha Taught. And you and Noah and Sarah are all getting a copy of it for your New Year's present.
Well,
I mean,
not yet.
Not yet.
We only have $1.89, dude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, after we get our next checks, then you'll get that gift.
Sure. What the Buddha Taught. That's Dad's pick. My favorite book is the little-known prequel to that book called How the Buddha Do, and it's kind of more of like an urban twist on the original story.
But it's still somehow a prequel.
Yeah, this was back before everything got all PC, and the Buddha was really about them streets. He jumped off the porch at a young age.
You're going to want to do what the Buddha says, not what he does.
Yeah.
Very, very gritty. What the Buddha
It's
do.
a multi-pronged journey.
The hero takes a journey. That's what it's all about. So that was my favorite book. And I know that you two had some excellent books that you read this year as well.
My favorite book was definitely Harrow the Ninth. So normally I try and read about 20 books a year. I did not get anywhere fucking close to that despite having quarantine this year. Murphy went back to school and she fucking is working her ass off, which left me with all of the household duties. And I'm not a homemaker. I'm the breadwinner. So this was a real role reversal for me. All of which to say is I only read like 6 books this year. But my favorite of those was definitely Harrow the Ninth.
Agreed.
Although I also listened to Gideon the Ninth on audiobook. That was a great experience. As much as I liked Harrow, I really did like Gideon better.
It's more of a mind fuck. The Gideon book is really like a game of Clue on top of the space necromancy. I love space shit. I love futuristic stuff. I love necromancy. That has always been cool to me, making zombies and shit. But also, everyone loves a good mystery. And everyone loves it when you don't see it fucking coming, The zig, the zag. And it was great, and it had a huge rereadability value because the whodunit is the last person you expect and was there the whole time and all that shit. So it was very good. Loved that book, and I also loved the second one, and I've been meaning to reread the second one. which I'm going to do.
Noah, how about you? Did you read anything this year?
I read Music Theory for Dummies. That's my book of the year.
Oh, dude, how was that?
It was musical.
And it's actually been pretty good for you because you are playing music better at this point now than you were at the beginning of the year. That's a fact.
That's true because I just picked up music again at the beginning of the year.
What do you play?
I played the ukulele and the piano.
Oh, that's cute.
Thanks.
I saw a TikTok recently. This guy was like, what I should be doing versus what I want to be doing. And anyway, the point is that he then put in 35 seconds of him playing the banjo. And I was like, do I want to fucking pick up the banjo? I feel like I want to pick up the banjo.
A well-played banjo is like the most satisfying sound on earth, and I don't know why.
Because it's the instrument of the year.
Sure, this piano I have right next to me can sound just like a banjo.
It certainly can.
I should utilize that more often. It has I think literally 999 different instruments and noises it can sound like. One of them is just guns, it's literally just guns in different pitches. It gets pretty ridiculous. You can split it up, so you can put it in dual mode, which means half of the piano will play this instrument and half of the piano will play that instrument, meaning you can put drums on one half and make a beat with one hand and play with the other if you dare. Which I don't. It's kind of difficult to explain because I can't read music, but all adept level piano requires you, of course, to play two different things with your two hands. And I'm good at making it sound like I'm doing that, but I'm really not. I am playing with both hands, but it's just not two completely different things. It's just chords in different orders, so it sounds like it is to the untrained ear, but anyone who actually seriously plays the piano would be like, oh, that's cute what you're doing.
Aw, isn't he cute?
Yeah. Oh, that's a cute little parlor trick that you're doing there. But you're not actually playing. Because it's hard. It's really hard to make both your hands to do two different things at the same time. And then it makes you have a lot of respect for people who can play the piano and sing at the same time. I mean, that shit is insane.
Shout out Ben Folds.
Shout out Elton John. Shout out
Elton
Billy
John.
Joel. Shout out your
Freddie
Uncle
Mercury.
Ted.
Uncle Ted taught me how to play the guitar once. And it was actually making sense, unlike anything else he ever tried to teach me. But I forgot. I still know how to play Smoke on the Water, though.
That's a real talent. I wish you would do it right now for us, but you don't have a guitar. So I guess that's out.
Your father almost impulse bought a piano this week.
Should have done it.
What kind?
We only have $1.89, dude.
I'm glad I didn't.
A normal piano, not a grand, not a baby grand, just a normal upright, but not even a tall stand-up.
Elsie had on this stupid fucking Judy Garland movie, okay? Meet Me in St. Louis. Obviously one of the worst movies of all time.
You just told me that you loved that movie.
Me?
Yeah.
I said Elsie loved that movie.
Lies and slander.
I never even said I loved the movie.
What I said was that movie had, and I did not know this, it contained the original recording that was popular of a song called Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. That appears in that film. And that is a great song. Sung by the incomparable Judy Garland, and I did enjoy that. But in that movie, the matriarch of the family is playing along and singing, and then the father comes up and he sings with the matriarch. And how lovely. Why don't we have a piano where you could play and then I could stroll up with my pipe and my bushy mustache and lean, and not that I have one, either of those things. But in any event, I could walk up with my pipe and lean up against the piano and sing along whilst you played.
Walk up with your pipe burning full of Pineapple Express and sing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
And at that time, I reminded him that he made me give my piano away when we got married.
Yeah, I did, because we couldn't really fucking move it.
So you told her to get rid of the piano because you didn't want to move the shit because it was a heavy Orthodox piano. Is that correct?
We didn't really have room in that place for a stand-up full-size piano. You have to admit that.
Yes, the argument was, I have this electronic keyboard. You'll love it.
And it turns out that Elsie hates electronic keyboards, which is why I gave it to you.
Oh, you didn't like this thing?
I hate it. I hate electronic keyboards so much. I need the wood feel.
But this thing is balling out of control.
But I can't read ebooks either, right? Some things I need the texture, I need the feel, and the vibrations in the wood. You don't get that with a keyboard.
True, you don't, and that is a good point, but on the other hand is you have to tune that fucking thing.
Well, once tuned, it tends to stay in tune.
Yeah, for 25 years, yeah, it does. But, what are you going to do in 25 years when one key sounds off?
You'll just pay somebody $100 to come tune your piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, you right.
If you turn up the electric keyboard loud enough, it vibrates too.
It does, and it gets loud.
Yeah,
And the keys on this fucking thing, they're real thick, heavy keys. It feels good.
See, you love the keyboard, and I hate
love
the
it.
keyboard. So it made a lot of sense to give you the
I guess you're right. It did make sense. I actually should be grateful that you hated this keyboard. And I am. But I love both. I would love to play like a grand piano.
Oh, yeah, man.
A real one. That would be so fun to do. I would
They
love to
have
do
one
that.
at Marcus Theaters. You've tooled on it a little.
A little, but I never got into it because we were on our way to see a movie.
Once the pandy's
Maybe I
over and you can go back to the movie theater, you can go right on back to Marcus Theaters right there in Omaha, Nebraska, and play on their baby grand piano, which is conveniently located right there in the lobby of Marcus Theaters in Omaha, Nebraska. You don't want to miss that experience. Now, for the shows and movies that I liked best in 2020, I'm going to have to say my favorite show was The Midnight Gospel, which is available still on Netflix. It's a podcast that is animated in an absolutely bizarre and entrancing fashion that covers the very deep subjects that are most important to people in their lives in terms of spirituality, what we do next, what our lives mean. But the animation is absolutely dope.
Yeah, it's really good animation.
And really good content.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Duncan Trussell. Did you know who Duncan Trussell was before that show?
Nope.
He's a comedian, but that's like his thing. He pretty much always was kind of like a acid head hippie, was always asking the philosophical questions. And it's just his podcast, just him talking to experts in various shit. Because the guests that he has, they're always some sort of fantastical creature or a fishbowl in a goddamn astronaut suit, whatever they are.
Yeah.
But the voice is always some doctor or psychologist or some such nonsense. So yeah, you're right. It's a very good show. Love that show.
Anybody else have a favorite show or movie of 2020?
I got Hunters on Amazon Prime. All about killing Nazis.
I like that.
Show?
It's one of their hour-long shows. All about killing Nazis. Takes place in the 70s.
Fictional or?
Yeah, it's entirely fictional.
Anybody good in it?
Yeah, Al Pacino, I think.
You're right. It's Al Pacino that's in it. He's the star, famous for the Godfather films.
Serpico.
Indeed. He was Serpico. And he also, again, was in Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, he's an Academy Award-winning auteur and artist.
I like killing Nazis.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Killing
It takes place in the 70s in the USA, and it's like the whole idea is Nazis are still running a secret underground ring and trying to take over the U.S. And
You mean like they are?
yeah, exactly.
Well, I wouldn't say that. We got much worse things to worry about than Nazis. Although Nazis are a thing to worry about.
And they're pretty bad, let's be honest.
They're horrible scum. They should be all killed. If you truly have Nazi beliefs, you should be killed. You should be taken out back and goofed.
Ooh, goofed. That's a
Like
word.
goofed, yeah.
You should be held down and goofed. Yeah, I say that all the time. Like when I'm playing video games or like when we're on a team and I fuck up, I deserve to be goofed for that.
Yeah, you do.
So here's the thing is that Murphy and I only watch one thing at a time, which makes for slow watching, right? So the only thing that we've really watched in 2020 is King of the Hill and Schitt's Creek. So, I mean, they're both pretty good. Probably my favorite thing that I watched, period, was the UFC fight in Vegas shortly before the world shut down.
I'm mad I didn't go. You asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, nah, no, I can't go. There was some stupid reason I couldn't go. I should have gone.
So the Black Keys were playing in Vegas that weekend while we were there, and I didn't go because nobody wanted to go with me. And there was like balcony seats left, and I was like,
dude, I would have gone. I didn't know they were there.
Well, okay, you weren't there anyway, so
no, but you didn't tell me. If you would have told me, like, hey, also the Black Keys are gonna be
I
there.
looked when I got there. What shows are happening
it.
in Vegas tonight? I'm like, oh fuck, the Black Keys are playing. But I didn't
dude.
go, and I really
Man,
regret
that
that
sucks.
because I can't even tell you the last time I went to a live show.
Last time I went to a live show was with you, as with almost every single live show I've ever been to. Now that I think about it,
Was the Devil Makes Three? That's the last live show you've been to?
It was Avenged Sevenfold and Breaking Benjamin. You remember in Lincoln? And I didn't take acid, and I really regretted that.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I should take acid. I was like, I guess I'm not going to take any acid before I go. And then we get there, and like during the concert, I'm like, I totally should have
taken acid for that one.
Why
Yep.
did I not do it? But it's okay.
Live and learn. Elsie, your favorite show, I think, of the year that you saw right before the shutdown, and that was The Lumineers.
Well, yes, I saw the Lumineers just before everything shut down, but that was not my favorite show. My favorite show was Saint Motel a few weeks earlier. That was a kick-ass show. I would have loved to have seen the Black Keys. We have tickets to see the Black Keys for Brad's birthday, but then, pandemic. And we had tickets for Rage Against the Machine, too, which at least has been pushed to 2021. But I think we were talking about favorite TV show of the year, and I got to go back to the Nazis with The Boys.
I know I've asked you this a trillion times, Did you send me your Amazon Prime thing, Dave?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
Twice.
No, I'll just go back to the old text. I need to watch that. That's the only reason I want to use Amazon Prime.
And that's the best reason to use and get Amazon Prime is to watch The Boys, a great show.
And then you can watch The Hunters, too.
Get your Amazon Prime login that we've sent you twice. Go ahead and watch The Boys, watch The Hunters. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is my belief. 2020 has been a tough year for many of us in many different ways. A lot of good things have happened, though. I retired.
Biden won.
The country voted out
Yes.
President Trump.
Thank God.
Well, that's,
We developed a vaccine. Already millions of doses have been administered with more on the way. And
That's
by this time next year, we will be, relatively speaking, back to normal. And I think that that's very exciting. I really believe 2021 is going to be the best year in all of our lives. And I'm excited about it.
Well, that's a big jump. But did anybody ask me what my favorite show of 2020 was?
No, we didn't.
I got the vibe you were doing a little wrap-up thing there, dude.
Well,
That's
I-
good.
Little wrap-up. Oh, we're done now. Fuck this kid. I've been
Anyway,
meaning to watch
Nick,
that. Anyway, my favorite show of 2020, season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Very good.
But also a close runner-up, the 4th season of Attack on Titan. Fucking crazy.
You've been all over Attack on Titan. You've told us many times to watch it, and season 4 is evidently the culminating season.
It's the final season, yeah, and it is so fucking crazy. So are you still watching that, Sarah?
I mean,
Don't disappoint
Kinda.
me. Do not fail me.
I am. I haven't had time.
Do not fail me.
It makes me uncomfy.
She failed you.
Yeah, you failed me.
No.
Watch more. Oh, also, I forgot. I need to honorable mention for favorite book, the third and final book in the Poppy Wars series,
What is that called?
The Burning God. And it is the final book of the Poppy Wars series. And I can't say any more than this without giving too much away. But still, at the end of the book, there's like room left open for there to be like a spin-off series.
Makes sense. R.F. Kuang, I'm sure, has made plenty of money off the Poppy Wars. It's a great series.
Sure.
So she's going to want to continue in that universe, I'm sure, just from the standpoint of continuing to make that cash.
Although one criticism I do have, it is a little, just a tiny bit thick with the allegories of other countries.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. The Mutineers are Japanese. I get it. The Hesperians are Americans. They're Christians. They're blue-eyed devils. I get it.
Let's wrap it up. I have a question for everyone. What was
Mhm.
everyone's favorite Christmas gift?
Ooh.
That's a loaded fucking question.
Not really. I mean, we don't give a shit if you choose something that isn't what we got you. I mean, we're not fucking petty.
The only gift I got for Christmas, I think, is this Yoda picture I'm looking at right now. Oh, and I got soap from my mom. So I'm going to go with this Yoda picture. You guys won. Congratulations. What did they get, boys?
A Yoda picture.
What else did mom give me? It was soap and some other thing.
Money.
Oh, well, the money was nice. I did like that. The money was nice. So actually, hold on now. I may have to change my answer.
You can use it to find your twin flame.
Indeed, you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Twin maggot. That should be the name of this episode, Twin Maggots.
It will be. Trust me. And Sarah, you got some booties that you liked?
Yeah, I got fashion steel toes, basically.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Murph's boots were pretty flame.
She got
Those
some
pink Tims. Those are
yeah.
pretty nice.
Oh, she got some pink Timberlands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's not just pink. They're like soft cream pink.
Like
Yeah.
the flesh of a baby's ass.
Sure.
I love it.
And so they're perfect for stomping Nazis, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
No,
all
these
boots are perfect for stomping Nazis, honestly.
Damn straight.
Especially the
So-
steel toes.
I'm subscribed to this female fashion subreddit because I'm real fashionable. And there was this post that was like, hey, ladies of STEM, what the fuck do you wear? Because if you work in an actual lab, you need actual lab shoes or whatever. And they're like, but I
What's-
want to be pretty. So anyway,
What's
these were
ladies
those,
of STEM?
You know,
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
the nerds.
STEM degrees.
So anyway, they've got the IEEE whatever ratings. They're electric proof. They're waterproof. They're steel toes. They're beautiful. I love them.
oh,
I
that's
thought
fabulous.
ladies of STEM was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very much like
I
that.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it is.
In one sense. You can start a subreddit, Gentlemen of Liberal Arts. What do you wear when you're not
I can
doing
only
anything?
fucking imagine.
Yeah.
The abomination.
Yes. All right. And so, Noah, you got to wrap it up, man. What's your favorite gift? What'd you get?
Just being able to spend time with family. That's right. I'm going to go the soft, gushy one.
He's lying.
But we're not buying it, yeah. So you're going to have to come up with something
then fuck
else.
you. It's socks. All right.
That's the answer we were
Like
looking
socks.
Good
Like 'em.
socks.
A lot of uses.
Yeah.
That's right. Nice cushy. They warm my feet.
Use them on your
fucking
hands,
socks.
whatever. So, yeah, good. Glad we got you some socks, or someone did. I don't know if we did. I'm not sure what we got
You
if
did.
anything.
You did.
All right, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. No, my favorite gift is one that I haven't received yet. I've received a promise to get a new TV, and I'm very excited about that.
Well, it's going to be tough finding a TV for $1.89, but
Yeah. I'm glad I was able to
good
talk you
fucking
down
luck,
from
buddy. I want to go get a loan from the bank.
Actually, my favorite gift is one I got Elsie. I got her a new vacuum coffee pot, that one that bubbles up and then it boils down. So I got her a brand new $200 coffee pot, and I love that thing.
It's bomb
Nice.
ass. Shout out to Aunt Stella for showing us the light.
And speaking of bomb ass, so honey, what was your favorite gift?
Snow.
Oh, that's true.
I got motherfucking snow on Christmas. It was 60 degrees the day before. It was not in the forecast at all. And then we had stayed up pretty late on Christmas Eve because we celebrated it with Noah. So we were up till like 2 a.m. and everybody else was still sound asleep. And I woke up and I made coffee in my bomb-ass coffee pot that Peter had set up so thoughtfully for me the night before. And I put on It's a Wonderful Life, and I was just trying to enjoy my Christmas morning to myself. And I look out the window and motherfucking snow. So
Hell yeah.
it was amazeballs.
I just want to point out that I said that it's possible there will be a white Christmas in Maryland, and Dad shot me down 100 times. And I said, you never know. It could snow right on Christmas Day. I said that. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure.
So did
Fucking
I,
idiot.
and he tried to act like I've never seen a white Christmas in Maryland, and he was like, you better tell me what fucking year it was. If you can't tell
Yeah.
me the year, it must not have happened.
I actually heard him whisper fucking idiot under his breath and then heard like a spitting noise. He clearly spit onto the ground pretending my face was there.
All I can say to all of that is, fuck all y'all. The snow was not in the forecast. It was not expected. It was a Christmas miracle, especially for Elsie. That's what it was. And that's how we're going to leave that experience. It was a special Christmas miracle just for Elsie. But here's what she did in response to that Christmas miracle. She ran upstairs and woke me up and made me go take a walk immediately. It set my whole Christmas day off. I was in a shitty mood the rest of the day.
You
She
sure
could have
was.
told- I'm like, you woke my ass up, dragged me out into this fucking snow, which I hate. I hate fucking snow.
This shit ain't special to me.
It's not.
all in my
I lived
socks.
for 5 years in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I got 200 inches of snow a fucking year. I never want to see snow again in my fucking life.
Merry Christmas.
You're getting a TV.
Merry Christmas. All right, kids. Well, it was a great year, and I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you,
Love you, bye. Ho,
Love
ho,
you,
ho.
bye.
Yum, yum, yum.
Twin flames.
Twin maggots.
A Shin Show is a production of Shinfluence. It features the voices and opinions of the Shin family, which are entirely and exclusively their own. Join us each week on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks as always to our regular listeners. We love to hear from you, so if you have a question, comment, recommendation, or idea you would like to submit to a Shin Show, please email us at ashinshow@gmail.com, and we will be happy to ignore it, belittle you publicly, or steal your ideas if you actually have a good one.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.